You know, I'm probably absolutely crazy, but I'm gonna say this anyways. You notice how piss poor Americans truly are? Have anybody ever actually paid attention to see how piss poor Americans truly are? Speaking as one myself, been here a while now. I can tell you, Americans are piss fucking poor. And for some reason, they absolutely love it. Now, let me explain, because people are gonna get all up into themselves and shit without realizing how piss poor they truly are. And I'm talking even the billionaires, not just every. I'm talking even billionaires are piss poor. And the reason why Americans are piss poor because they put. I want you to pay attention. 90%, about 80% of the value might be 70%, but I don't know. It's somewhere in that high number, around 17 to 90% of Americans' value is tied into real estate, cars, vacations, things, or some nonsense. Stuff that can't hold their value over time. Very few people own gold and silver and there's another one. I forget what the other one is. All right, most of them have just properties and shit. Cash is piss poor too. You can argue that till you're pink in the face, because the United States dollar is not tied to any solid commodity. It's not tied to anything. It's tied to the economy, and every time the economy goes up or down, the value of the U.S. dollar goes with it. All right, depends on who's president. Is how the United States dollar goes in values. And the reason why the United States have been so, as people call them, wealthy, but they're technically piss poor, is that the United States haven't been in a war, like a war, for instance, Iraq or Iran or Afghanistan, the one that's fighting with Russia right now, Russia, and the other one that they're fighting Russia. I cannot remember that damn country's name for some reason. Israel and Iran just gotten a thing. And that's what the United States have been fortunate enough to not be a part of. Canada too. Actually, a few countries haven't been into wars, which is good. Believe me, I really wish it stays this way. That's something I'm praying for. No war actually come off, because the second a war breaks out and stuff could start getting destroyed, because it happened before. If you do not have actual collateral, aka like gold or silver or diamond or whatever the hell that stupid stuff is called, you can literally lose everything in the blink of an eye. Again, the American dollar is not tied to anything. So the second the economy crashes spectacularly, all the money you have in the bank is trash. Again, I'm probably absolutely nuts here, but I'm just throwing my 2 cents out there. You can either believe it or you just ignore it and keep it moving. But think about it for a second. Why Americans go belly up the second their house burned down? Why you hear people crying and screaming their company go out of business and they find themselves bankrupt, just all of a sudden just bankrupt like that? Because the truth is, there is no value in the stuff Americans. I want to say it's not just Americans. It's a lot of people across the world doing this. We're putting value into stuff that technically has no value. The things that people gravitate to, and oh, this I have this asset and I have that asset. It's all junk. It truly has no value. None of it does. Again, I'm absolutely crazy, so you don't have to listen to a word I'm saying. But if you just want to open your mind for 5 seconds and think about this, there's no value in none of it. The housing market's crashing and people losing millions. Some of the rich people are losing billions. If the housing market never comes back to what it was, and if the and because of they call it a correction, I don't think it's a correction. I think it's just a straight up, downright what needed to happen anyways. Because this country's been living in a bubble for at least 4 or 5 decades. At least the past 50 years, this country has been living in a bubble. The economy has been a bubble for at no less than 50 years. I'm going to say 50. That might, yeah, 50 years. About that. About 50 years. So no, let me take that back. About 30 years, this country's been living in a bubble. Everything been overinflated and overpriced, overestimated, all of it. Every company, every company, every house, every car, you name it, it's all overpriced. So the bubble is finally popping. Like it's literally finally popping, and or it already popped, and it's finally deflating. And it, sometimes the deflation don't catch up as fast because you have people trying to pump that bubble back. Let's let's try to keep the air. Let's try to keep the air in there. Somebody pumping in, and somebody's trying to patch it at the same time, so it don't deflate as fast. But it's gonna deflate eventually because you can't keep up with the shit. Yeah, that's what's going on. Again, I'm probably crazy. Again, I just want to put it out there. I'm absolutely nuts. My brain going 100 miles an hour, and I think I see the signs and just calling it out. America's piss poor. Even millionaires. Billionaires. You pick one. Oh, I have a $50 million home, and probably in about 2 years or so, it's probably going to worth like $100,000. If maybe 200,000. I don't fucking know. I'm pulling shit out of my ass. It might not even worth a thing. If people can't afford it, you won't have any value to it. If nobody wants to live here, it won't have any value either. So yeah, you do you. AI is coming out. I heard the other day AI wiped out. Whew, I heard it wiped out a whole bunch of companies' entire stuff. Hopefully they had the backups, because they didn't have the backups. All that information's gone. No telling the AI. Again, there's no guarantees with anything. Y'all can sit there and everything's guaranteed. No, there's no guarantees with anything. Again, piss poor. The things we put value in or stock into is the stuff that has absolutely no value in the grand scheme of things. It's me and you sit down, well, yeah, that thing's valued that much to me, so I'll pay for it for that amount. What happens when people go, well, I will not pay that amount for it because it's not worth it to me? It's all evaluation based off just our opinions. None of these things have real value. None of them. No homes, no cars, no. I don't even know what to call it. Especially the stock market. Stocks have zero value in them. All right, it's people just pumping them up. The same companies who own them are then pumping the value of them up, make it look like they call it worth something. But on the back end, if you look at how the company is actually performing, they have none of that stock. The value is so over bloating, over called for. It's just a matter of time before that balloon pops. You hear companies go belly up all the time. Stock not worth nothing. You paid $6,000 for the stock. Next thing you know, the CEO jumps out before the stock go belly up, and now you stuck with the bill. Again, it's all just piss poor. I'm here talking my head off, and none of y'all probably gonna give a shit. But again, I'm just You went out there, you do what you want to do with the information. The thing that we truly need to value, the one thing that truly has value in this world, is the one thing everybody ignores. Interhuman relationships. Relationship between me and you. That's the only thing that has any value at all. But people are too busy fighting for scraps and shit and pure garbage instead of trying to build a relationship, instead of fighting for the thing that truly, 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 truly matters. And that's relationships between their fellow human beings. Because that's the only thing in this universe that has any true value. How we treat each other, how we see each other. I say this before and I'll say it again. I don't need a car to get anywhere. It's convenient to have a car to get anywhere because I can just get in it and go. I can't drive, so I'm just literally proving my point. I physically cannot get in a car and drive anywhere because I have so much medical issues. I can't physically get in a car and drive somewhere. So I depend on other people to do it. Do you see the value I'm talking about yet? Connection between our fellow human beings. That's the only thing that has value. Again, I'm absolutely crazy. You don't have to listen to a word I'm saying. The only thing that has value in this universe is the relationships between our fellow human beings. Let me get to my point again before this video gets too long. To get to somewhere, all I have to do is get another human being that can actually operate a vehicle safely. And I can get there. If I need a house, get a couple of human beings who know how to put a house together, put the sticks together and all the materials and combine together, and I get a house. I need some food. All I need is another human being who knows how to do some stuff, and I got food to eat. I don't need money. All I need is good, wholesome, what's that word I'm looking for? Connections between other human beings, and I can survive. I can live an amazing life just by the people that surrounds me. And I won't need a dime. And if you really think you're people, look at all these villages and all these, they call them untouched villages all over the world. They're all over the place. Or villages where people don't communicate with the outside world very much. And look how those people are thriving. And they probably don't have money either. And a lot of them, those untouched societies that don't use money, but they're surviving, they're living, they're thriving just fine. Because that is the only thing that has value in this universe. Everything else is just more junk. And you can believe whatever you want to believe. You can do whatever you want to do. Y'all Christians love talk about God. You know where God truly lands? And you know where God truly lives? Any deity. You can pick a deity. They live in the relationship we have with our fellow man. Woman, if you want to put that too. Let me put it right. With our relationship with our fellow human beings, that's where God lives. Your deity, you pick one. That's where they live. And if you can't have that, you don't serve a God. You don't serve a deity. You serve a thing, an ideal. You don't have a deity. You are a demon in disguise. Again, absolutely crazy person, but you can do you.